This is K1DBC. All stations, please stand by. The Denver Radio Club Learning Net starts in approximately 5 minutes.
Until about T-minus 4 minutes, a lot of stuff starts going down. T-minus 3 minutes, closing out the propellant load, so you're finishing out the liquid oxygen load and the liquid fuel load. T-minus 40 seconds, we stop interacting with the pad. The vehicle's just on its own.
All right, attention all B-19 operators. This is the final go, no-go poll for today's operations. Our main objective today is a 10-engine static fire.
Why 10 engines instead of all 33? This is the first V3 booster down at the pad right now, so there's a lot of stuff that can go wrong. And if we do have a bad day, it limits the scope of the issues that we can have.
This will be the highest chamber pressure we've ever seen on a vehicle at SpaceX, so definitely going to be a pretty spicy test today.
And then you're counting down from T-minus 40. T-minus 4 on is when my heart rate really starts to tick up. And then we light the engines.
We are in the Star Factory, and this is an almost 1 million square foot facility that we've built to enable that production of both ship and booster. Starship is a fully reusable rocket. It's 2 stages, so it has a ship, which is the upper stage, and a booster below it. The booster accelerates the ship to get it going towards orbit. The ship is what actually goes into orbit to take the people or the payload to wherever they're going. The sound of progress. The rivet guns and the sledgehammers. Less sledgehammers than there used to be. The story of Starship starts with the founding of SpaceX.
3, 2, 1.
Rather than
This is K1DBC. All stations, please stand by. The Denver Radio Club Learning Net starts in approximately 1 minute.
starting with the vehicle that Elon envisioned needing to get people to the moon and Mars, he thought it would basically bankrupt the company. It wouldn't be possible. So you have to bite it off in small pieces.
W0TX repeater.
And so those pieces, which at the time did not seem small at all, were Falcon 1, Falcon 9, Dragon, both cargo and crew, Falcon Heavy.
Falcon Heavy is supersonic.
These were the building blocks that let us cut our teeth on learning how to do rockets. not the way the aerospace industry had been doing it, but the way we needed to do it to end up here where we...
All right, may play a few more minutes of that after the net here. Starship test luckily fly by SpaceX 9 days ago. This is K1DBC. Welcome to the Denver Radio Club Learning Net for May 6th, 2026. It's a great place to learn about ham radio and STEM topics in general. Thankfully, we have plenty of combined experience and expertise. This is Kilo 1 Delta Bravo Charlie. My name is Daron. I'll be this evening's net control. Tonight, we'll be taking your comments, questions, check-ins, updates, and more. We meet every Wednesday except the third Wednesday of the month, 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time on 145.490 with minus 600 kilohertz offset or 448.625. Our Echo Link repeater also on 449.350 or DMR repeater on 446.7875 in time slot number 2. All three of those have a minus 5 megahertz offset. In addition, you can also talk via our All-Star node, All-Star Link node 42851, our Echo Link node 4140, or our DMR Brandmeister talk group 310804. Any audio sent from those methods will be heard on our repeaters and vice versa. You can contact us at elmer@w0tx.org. You can contact me directly if you'd like, k1dbc@w0tx.org. We're on most social media at Denver Radio Club. We also stream and archive our nets on youtube.com/Denver Radio Club. So if you'd like to see behind the scenes of the net or visual context, that is an additional way to participate in the net. I also would suggest checking our groups.io page, groups.io/g/W0TX. Lots of recent communications have been happening there. This net can be broken at any time for emergency or priority traffic by using the word break. Is there any emergency or priority traffic at this time? All check-ins to the net will be taken in alphabetical groups based on the first letter of the suffix of the operator's call sign. The suffix is the first letter after the number in the call sign. If you can, please try to use I2 phonetics for your call sign at least, and indicate if you have any traffic or questions as you check in. If you'd like to follow along with the check-ins, who's checked in, you can visit w0tx.org/check-in. With that, if your suffix begins with letters A through M, Alpha through Mike, please check in now.
KD0, CGF, Kenny, and Thorn with traffic.
WD0, CIV, Charles and Denver, no traffic.
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. I'd like to welcome and acknowledge the following check-ins. We had Kilo Delta Zero, Charlie Golf Fox, KD0, CGF Kenny with traffic. And I'll have your photos brought up as well. At NWD0, CIV, Charles, Whiskey Delta Zero, Charlie Indigo Victor. This is K1DBC Net Control. Again, Alpha through Zulu, A through M, Alpha through Mike. Please check in now. Full alphabet then. We'll take all check-ins, A through Z, Alpha through Zulu, all call signs, all call suffixes. If you'd like to check in just for the count or for any traffic or question for the Wednesday night Denver Radio Club Learning Net. Again, great place to learn about ham radio and STEM topics. We're taking all check-ins, A through Z, Alpha through Zulu. Please call now.
KF0, WXE, Kilo Foxtrot 0, Whiskey X-Ray Echo, no traffic.
All right, in that time we had Net Control. We'd like to welcome the knowledge of the following check-in. Kilo Foxtrot 0, Whiskey X-Ray Echo, Daniel, checking in. Really do appreciate that. So 4 check-ins so far. Might be a lighter net. Hopefully this is not the continued direction of this net, because we certainly enjoy putting this on for the community. With that, we're taking all check-ins, A through Z, Alpha through Zulu. If you'd like to check in, plenty of time here, another hour. We're taking all check-ins. Please call now.
KF0UUC, Chad, Highlands Ranch via Echo Link, no traffic.
Excellent. This is K1 DDC Net Control. I managed just to check end time. Part of the monitoring system for our repeaters is something called Supermon, and I noticed that, our Echo Link repeater keyed up there. So, yeah, that's awesome to see. This is K1 DBC Net Control. We had checking in there, Kilo Foxtrot 0, Uniform Charlie. Chad checking in via Echo Link. All right. Another call at the moment. Again, plenty of time here. We had a check-in with traffic there. Kenny, KD0CGF. There might be some visual medium to this potentially. If so, you may want to head over to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Denver Radio Club. We'll have some photos brought up. And we'll get them posted over to our groups.io. I'll see if I could just do that during the net here as well. This is a K1 at DBC Net Control. With that, all check-ins, A through Z, Alpha through Zulu. Please call now. This is K1 DBC Net Control. With that, we'll throw it over then to Kenny, KD0CGF. The net is yours.
Thank you, Deron, and good evening to everybody on the net. So last week we were talking a little bit about tower safety, and I brought up the subject of an inverted V that I had to bring down because it was giving us some trouble. So I went ahead, forgive me, I forget what day it was. I went ahead and went up the tower and took the antenna down. And in the process, before I went up the tower, I did kind of a safety check. It really is a safety check, but I did my yearly inspection that I normally do as I climb the tower. Let me drop for a second.
W0TX repeater.
So the pictures that I have, that's if you guys see them, they show each of the guy wires and the turnbuckles. And I was taking measurements for records so I can compare them to last year's and the year before. And it's just to keep an eye on any movement. This tower has been up for quite a number of years, I believe since '06, and it's just something we do every year, is just to check it and make sure everything's looking good. The ground, the guy wires that go into the deadmen that we used are not your normal anchors. Those were actually given to us by a member of XL Energy. Those are the same ones they use on the power poles. Trying to put those in the ground were quite entertaining, especially without a machine to do it. Let me drop. So my good friend Lauren, who's been my friend for over a decade, came over and helped me with the pictures on it. If some of the pictures are a little blurry, I do apologize. So on the tower safety, Daron brought up last week, he read a thing that said something about a full-body harness. Full-body harnesses, I've priced them out at one point, and they were rather expensive, but I used to do some rock climbing. And the harness I'm using is actually just a rock climbing harness. And it's done me well for as long as I've climbed the tower. I've only ever had to replace it twice. And up on the tower, I do have 3 points of contact, not only by body, but by actual anchor points to me, just to protect. Now let me drop. So the antenna that we brought down, in that picture Daron's got up right now, I got a blue rope hanging off of it, is the G5RV. And upon further inspection of this, I noticed when I was bringing it down, where it clips, where you stick a ring through it and it clips onto the standoff, it was about ready to break. And I would say we're pretty lucky that we caught it when we did. Otherwise, that antenna would have just came falling down pretty fast. Let me drop. So upon further inspection of the antenna, you might notice that there's some soldering done with some crimp connects. This was an attempt as a band-aid to try to fix it while it was up on the tower, because the bottom of the ladder line broke off because of the high winds. It was also determined that the ground side of this ladder line was burnt. Now, what was interesting about it is, before I did this and before I did this Band-Aid, it was the ground side was also burnt. And it would go about 6 inches down the ladder line, and then it would go back to normal copper. So this was really interesting to discover that it burnt again. Now, what's causing this, I'm not entirely sure. If anybody on the net has an idea, I'm happy to hear it. The other thing that was also determined, let me drop for the repeater. The other thing that was also determined is the ends, the PL259 or the SO239 ends. They were actually corroded. And what's interesting is I used the RF sealant, or not the RF sealant, the sealant you can get at HRO that you wrap around it, and it's just kind of like a rubber gooey seal. And I wrapped this thing, and it's still corroded. And I was rather wondering why. But the end result is the antenna is going to be rebuilt over the next couple of months, and then it's going to get hoisted back up, and then I'll climb the tower and put it back up. Now, if anyone's curious on the tower, let me drop. So the tower, I say it's 48 feet, but the tower belongs to K0KKU. He's the one that originally got all of it up. He says it's 49 feet, and it's a Roan tower 25G. And it's the mast on top sounds like it's 9 feet. And then I can't remember the beam off the top of my head. I'd have to go ask them if anyone was interested. But yeah, it was definitely an interesting day. I'm just glad we had the nice weather for it, and we got it done before the snow came in. I'm actually really glad after seeing the top of that antenna, I'm really glad we got it done before the snow came in. And the warning sign, I was asked to take a picture of that by Dad. So, I don't remember what he said about it. All I know is the warning sign needs to be replaced because the wind has taken the corners off, and yeah, I'm surprised it hasn't fallen off yet. Anyways, this is Katie's CGF, and I'll turn it back over to you, Doron.
Excellent. Thanks for the update on that. The pictures are only blurry using the OneDrive, it looks like, at the moment for me, but I just had to download them in a zip file. Pictures look great, so awesome, and thanks to your friend for helping filming that. So I will, over the net, I will try to get a posting up on our groups.io page under KD0CGF, recent tower climbing. I'll post a link to the zip file as well as the... probably a link to this video as well, just to give more context for everyone else. So that's awesome to see. Thank you so much. And yeah, that's lots of great info there. And yeah, lots of great, great documentation, great photos. Yeah, wow, that is quite the tower you are climbing there. So yeah, definitely safety precautions needed. It's not some rinky-dinky tower there. So yeah, congrats on that. And yeah, glad to see you were able to find some issues and get things corrected. And yeah, that's awesome to see. This is K1 DBC Net Control. Anyone on that? Comments, questions, or anything else? Tower climbing. Go right ahead. I think that was Orland, potentially WW0LF. Go ahead.
0TX repeater.
Okay, I was just going to comment on the height of the tower. The top sections of Roan 25G go up to a peak with a sleeve for usually a 2-inch or 2.5 inch. Those are actually 9 feet tall, not 10 feet.
This is Katie's CGF. Yeah, that actually makes sense. That explains why he was telling me it was 49 feet and then the mast was 9 foot. So I was a little curious to know that, so thank you for that insight. I did not know that myself. When he put this tower up, I was, let's see here. Did I say 14? I think I did say 07, 06. I was 16 years old. No, I was... Oh, man. See, I'm aging myself here. I was little. I'll just say that. I was little. The other thing I wanted to add on the tower inspection. So as I climbed the tower, every section I touched, not only did I inspect the welds going up or where I was stepping, but I also touched every bolt that I can reach just to make sure it was still tight. And because I don't go up the tower besides like once or twice a year, depending on what we got going on, when I get up that high, I take a roll of electrical tape with me and just re-tape the coax cable to the tower. That way it just kind of keeps the tape fresh. There's a section up there, I didn't take a picture of it, but I'm pretty sure there's probably about a foot section that took a whole roll of tape over the time I've electrical taped it. And yeah, Katie's CGF, back to net.
Awesome. Yeah, great to hear updated information there from Orland. That's awesome to hear. And yeah, thanks for all the information there, KD0CGF. So I did post a message live on our groups.io page. It doesn't have the zip file in it, but I was somehow able to download a zip file from the Microsoft OneDrive platform yesterday. I just can't see it at the moment. But you can go through the photos right there. You just have to basically just click on, I think there is a download option. It's just hard to find it. Anyway, w0tx.org/groups.io or groups.io/g/w0tx KD0CGF recent tower climbing if you'd like to see those photos for yourself. Awesome. Yeah, it's great to see. Looks like that happened May 1st, at least at the date timestamp there, 10 a.m. or so, May 1st. So looks like great weather for doing that, probably just in time after the recent snow we had and things like that. So yeah, great timing there and great measurements. And that's awesome to see. So yeah, anyone else? I will pass along, and if Orland's listening or wants to pass along as well. Some recent interest here by Kenny if we have any need for tower climbing, which we certainly do. This is K1DBC. Anyone else? It's 7:51. We'll take check-ins here in just a minute, but comments, questions, check-ins, anything else? Go right ahead.
KF0UUC.
UUC, KF0UUC. Chad, the net is yours. Go ahead.
Hey, drone. Yeah, this is Chad. Looking at the pictures there, I could see the pictures of the connector and that corrosion. The first thing I thought of was dissimilar metals there. I wouldn't think that would be an issue with high-quality parts, but that's the first thing that came to mind for me. I wondered if you could check the spec sheets of the connector and whatever it's plugging into to see what type of metal are they, what type of plating does it have, and see if there might be, perhaps two different types of metals which could cause corrosion. Back to net.
Great suggestion there. Yeah, looking up the spec sheet for the coax connector itself and seeing what metallurgy it has and what types of metals it has. And hopefully it wouldn't have inherently metals or other things in it that would corrode over time in normal use like that. Because, we are looking at the photo and, the top half of the little tip at the end of the connector there is pretty much corroded off. This is K1DBC. Comments, questions, anything else on that? Go ahead.
KD0CGF. I don't remember exactly where I got that connector. If you're curious about a time frame, how long that one's been up there, when the problem was discovered was probably about the end of October, and that's about when I took out the A-frame ladder and went up and done that. So that's about how long it's lasted. KD0CGF, back to net.
All right, sounds good. This is K1 DBC Net Control. I guess I'll take this opportunity. If anybody's listening in, tuning in, again, we're streaming, over youtube.com/Denver Radio Club, but more importantly, over our repeaters. our main 145.490, which is linked to the 448.625 repeater, and then our Echo Link repeater 449.350, and our DMR repeater 446.7875, and all the appropriate apps for those. All Starlink node 42851, Echo Link 4140, and DMR Talk Group 31804. If anybody is tuning in and would like to check into the Denver Radio Club Learning Net, great place to learn about ham radio and STEM topics, we're taking all check-ins A through Z, Alpha through Zulu. Please check in now. Another call. If anybody's checking or wants to check in, just for the count, or if you have any traffic questions, we're taking all check-ins A through Z. Let me know your call sign, your name, and if you have any traffic or questions, please call now. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. We did have checking in online Rodney, a usual suspect, recently. Appreciate him checking in. I believe out of state and still working on licensing and testing. This is K1DBC Net Control. Didn't see anybody else indicate they had any traffic questions. I certainly can bring a couple things up, maybe some club news, some things I've been working on recently. Yeah, if anyone else, though, has check-ins, comments, questions, anything else, please call now.
0TX repeater.
KD0CGF. I can add a couple more things to the tower stuff, and I do have another project that we've talked about previously on the Learning Net that I've discovered some information on. Unless someone else, if anyone else has any comments, questions, or anything they would like to bring up beforehand, I can certainly hold off.
Oh, I didn't know you were local here. That's awesome. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Correction, Rodney in the chat here is actually from Southwest Denver, so that's awesome to hear. Yeah, great to hear more. You have more there, Kenny. We can get back to here in a second, more about the tower and some other projects. That's not a problem at all. I certainly can tease something really quickly here. I recently bought a Yaesu FT2D refurbished WIRES-X capable radio, just to start playing around with that. So as a teaser, that's what I can talk about a little bit, is mostly just connecting and getting connected to our repeater, essentially. But a little bit on that, more. But anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins? Go right ahead. All right, another call. If anybody wants to, feel free to comment. We have 30 or so minutes still left here. This net is for all of us. So if anybody has comments, questions, updates on recent projects, this is a great place to bring them up. So if you have any recent updates on something, or have been working on something recently, or any issues have come up, let us know. Okay, I guess while we're talking about towers, yeah, go right ahead. Kenny, if further follow-up on that, go right ahead.
So one of the last things I can add to it is in the pictures on the turnbuckles and some of the nuts and bolts that are rusted. The project for this year before next winter, or the coming up winter in December, is I'm going to be replacing all those pieces and putting new turnbuckles in. just to make sure everything stays fresh and nothing rusts through and fails. That was talked about, and that's what we're planning on. We're also going to retension one of them. I think there's a picture of it where the turnbuckle's pretty much maxed, like inward. So I'm going to shorten the cable on that, and to give us some breathing room. I did put 1 to 2 turns on the turnbuckle this year, just to try to help it. Let me drop for a second.
4 degrees.
As for the other thing that's going on, so a couple of weeks ago we brought up, I asked a group about WinLink, and correspondence with the sound signal link USB device hooked into the IC7100 radio. Well, I discovered something interesting last night, actually, or this morning, about it. I was playing around with it, trying to get it to work, and I figured out, for some reason, the signal link does not key the radio when the radio is in VHF. And it could be on FM, sideband, AM, it don't matter, it will not key it. But if you switch it over to HF, it will actually key the radio. I'm not exactly sure why yet. I still got to do some more research, but I found that to be very interesting. I know I'm missing something somewhere, but yeah, this is KD0 CGF, back to net.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, good update on that as well on the signal link. At least some changes. It's working in HF, but not in other modes. I think you were trying to do packet radio with it, and in a combination of, I think, sound modem and terminal program as well. I'll have to dig up. I can't remember. It seemed like there was some oddity. I don't have the equipment anymore to do it. I don't have the radio. Well, I'll see what I can do, but yeah, that is too bad. It's still not working with FM, at least, though. But yeah, thanks for the update. Yeah, anybody else on that? Maybe experience with Signal Link, using it on FM for packet radio or other operations other than HF? Go right ahead. This is K1 DBC Net Control. Did you mention the radio was the IC7100, Kenny? IC7100?
No, it's the IC746. Excuse me. I know it's on the radio side. It's not the signal link, but it's something on the radio side, and I'm not exactly sure yet.
Okay, gotcha. Let me see some options here. Maybe I don't know if these would help or not. At least on a Reddit post from 7 years ago. Well, they're talking about digital modes, I guess. Let me see here. But it's talking about setting the baud rates, an address, transceive, and a mode. Options number 27, 28, or 27 through 30. Don't know if those are in use or what's needed, but that might help. I don't know. This is a K1 DBC Net Control. Anyone else on the ICOM 746 Signal Link operations over FM? Go right ahead. All right. Well, do keep us apprised of what's going on there. Certainly would love to get you operating out on our packet station or other packet stations, or WinLink Express as well for email. That's quite popular with the Aries crowd as well. So it's always good to have something working via those methods.
Speaking of, that actually reminded me, KZCGF, by chance, did anyone catch the meteor shower that's been occurring or has occurred? Admittedly, I missed it myself, and I was out this morning, so it's like, I didn't see anything, but yeah, I'm kind of curious to know if anyone caught that.
W0TX repeater.
Great question there. The Perseid meteor shower that occurs is still kind of occurring right now. Let's see here. Peaking the 12th and the 13th of August, but it usually occurs annually from mid-July to late August. I thought I had a more specific one that showed it was something happening in the next couple of days here, as you mentioned. I did not see that myself. So anyone else on the whichever actual meteor shower did occur here recently, go right ahead. I was wrong on the name there. The name, I don't know, just ETA Aquariid meteor shower. Again, peaking early hours May 5th and May 6th, offering up to 50 meteors per hour for the southern hemisphere, and roughly 10 to 30 for the northern hemisphere, despite interference from a bright, nearly full moon. These shooting stars are caused by debris from Halley's Comet. Best times to watch: early mornings, May 5th and 6th. The best viewing is the hours before dawn, 3 to 4 a.m. local. Best viewed from southern hemisphere tropics, however, they are still visible in the northern hemisphere. Go out to dark sky locations, escape the city lights. No equipment should be needed. They can be seen with the naked eye. Allow 30 to 45 minutes for your eyes to adjust to the dark. And again, some upcoming ones, July, August, October, and December as well. I'm struggling to find photos for that as well. Or maybe I'm just not having enough patience here. Comments, questions, astrophotography, space photography. It's a great opportunity for that. Also probably a good time to maybe test the bands. I don't know how bands change with meteor showers. I know we can bounce things off of meteors, so maybe meteor scatter might help, might not, don't know. Comments, questions on the ETA Aquariid meteor shower? Go right ahead. All right, I think maybe over the next couple days we'll have some photos coming out here. I'm sure we'll see stuff online and in the news. Maybe next week we'll have some photographs of maybe potentially people who took them from our club here. Comments, questions, check-ins. It's 8:10 p.m. nearly. We have another 20 or so minutes. Comments, questions, check-ins. Go right ahead. All right. Well, I guess I can pass the traffic that I have so far here. As I was teasing earlier, I just recently purchased a used Yaesu FT2D radio. I know we've brought up, and there's just a lot of confusion with it, quite frankly, between Yaesu System Fusion, C4FM, and WIRES-X. Let's see here. It's taking from another club's page here. Let's see. Well, this is from the Lookout Mountain Amateur Radio community. Not too sure that's Lookout here in Colorado. No, though it's Tennessee, Alabama area. WIRES-X, wide coverage internet repeater enhanced system, is an internet communication system. For WIRES-X, an amateur node station connecting to the internet is used as the access point and connects to the wireless communication. It's the repeater itself does use internet. The handhelds don't, though I think they might be able to. But it supports C4FM digital mode, which enables high sound quality. It automatically connects to nodes and rooms. There's no need to verify IDs. Let's see here. Again, confusion because there's a lot of different terminologies here. I guess going back to Google Gemini here, let's see if they can give me a good answer here. C4FM is the digital voice modulation method used by Yaesu radios, while WIRES-X is Yaesu's proprietary internet linking system for connecting to rooms. And Yaesu System Fusion, commonly known as YSF, refers to open source reflector networks often used with hotspots. C4FM Fusion offers high-quality digital voice, whereas WIRES-X provides robust official linking, and Yaesu System and YSF provides an alternative decentralized network. Key differences: C4FM stands for continuous 4-level frequency modulation. It's the underlying digital technology mode that transmits voice and data. GPS mainly is the digital language the radio speaks, often referred to as fusion. WIRES-X, let me drop here for a moment. And I'm probably not telling you something you don't already know. It's just I'm learning this stuff new, so I thought I'd bring you along here. WIRES-X, this is Yaesu's proprietary official network system. It links repeaters and nodes to rooms using Yaesu certified infrastructure, allowing for features like automatic node searching and voice image messaging. And lastly, Yaesu System Fusion. This is an open source alternative to WIRES-X created by third parties like YSF reflectors and FCS. It operates via internet servers, commonly known as reflectors, and is most commonly used with personal hotspots, Pi-stars, MMDVMs, rather than a direct radio connection to the repeater. So my interest in this has just been, there was an emails going back and forth about potentially an issue with our WIRES-X repeater. I also wanted to look into how we can interlink the WIRES-X repeater into the other repeaters. So I just purchased a used radio to start playing around with it. Didn't come with a programming cable, but has a micro SD card built into it. So I was able to program it through that. And I just have the one repeater on it, the 449.775 W0TX repeater. So it's pretty easy once it's all configured correctly. Basically just power it on, go to the right channel, and then there is a little WIRES-X button I have to hit. So I'm doing that now. If you want to look on the YouTube stream, or if you look up other Yaesu FT2D radios, you can see that there. Let me see here. Obviously, when I'm wanting to demonstrate it, it's not working. Give me just a second here. I'll try it once more here.
0TX repeater.
Sorry for the delay there. I just had to hold it up a little bit higher than what I had it here. So it's connected into our room. It's just called W0TX room. If you look over on our webpage, w0tx.org/repeaters, you will see one of the repeaters is listed as the Yaesu System Fusion repeater. It's the very bottom one on the frequency 449.775 for receive, 441.7875 for transmit, which means it has a minus 5 megahertz offset. Digital only, no. Oh, I was reading the wrong one there. Correct one, Yaesu System Fusion, 449.775. Transmit is 444.775. Again, it's still minus 5 megahertz offset. C4 FM digital only, using the modes DN, VW, and data. No conventional analog. So it automatically goes into the W0TX room, which is number 40931. A recent email came out, or was there's some concern that our repeater actually wasn't able to connect out to other nodes, or W0 or WIRES-X rooms. It looks like it can though, so I'll just key up I was able to bring up a list of all of the active ones, and it shows the name as well as the number of people connected. So I'm going to connect to the America, I think Kansas City wide group here, and maybe we'll have some audio from that here in a second. It's not going to be directly over the radio, but I'll see what I can do here.
CGF with a question for you.
Yeah, well, I get that working. CGF, go right ahead, please.
So I used to run the Yaesu 400DR, which had the X on it, and the X wireless, and I've never used it. But seeing you use it, I'm curious to know. So you're saying that it shows the other nodes and people that are on it, right? Does it download? I don't know how to put it. When you connect with the wireless X, does it automatically use like the GPS or whatever to download the other nodes through the repeater it's connected to? So I'm probably screwing all that up, but something like that.
All right. All right, this is a K1DBC net control. Let me see if I can get this a little bit working better here. Give me a second here. All right, well, tough cookies, I guess, on the demonstration here. Let me see if I can get that working here in a second here. But yeah, basically, our WIRES-X repeater, I connect into it. I didn't have to program anything other than our repeater information into my radio. It connects to the WIRES-X repeater itself, and with the internet linking of WIRES-X, it automatically knows what other WIRES-X nodes are online, the names of them, and how many people are in them. And then I think once you get into them, it will show names of people who are talking, similar to DMR.
Katie's CGF. That is really cool. I know DMR, what is it, DMR type 1, type 2, but there's another mode out there done up by Motorola where you connect to the repeater, and it automatically downloads everything. And that's the way you're explaining the WIRES-X makes it sound like it's pretty well similar to that, which is really unique and really nice to utilize. Have you made a contact on it, and if so, how did it sound? Is it similar to what DMR is?
This is K1DBC Net Control. I was actually able to get this connected here. Let me see here. I'm having difficulties getting this demonstrated here, so let me just stop that here for a minute. This is K1DBC. Yes, audio quality is more or less, I think, the same as digital DMR. I think it's half the bandwidth, but I'm not actually absolutely sure on that for WIRES-X. Anyone on that, though, if you know the fidelity of WIRES-X, go right ahead. It sounds like it maybe is potentially same quality, potentially. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Sorry about that. That was a little clunky, kludgy way to do this here. I would just suggest, looking up WIRES-X radios, FT2D. There's a lot of confusion between Yaesu System Fusion, C4FM, WIRES-X. There are ways to interlink them together. I think that's what I will eventually try to do. I have what's called an XLX reflector set up, number 442. It's meant to help interlink between D-Star, DMR, Yaesu System Fusion, and potentially WIRES-X as well. So that is something we're looking into as well, is setting up a multi-protocol gateway reflector to interlink all these. But sorry for the kludginess. Again, let me drop for a moment. Very similar to DMR, you don't really need to program in any digital contacts, though, which is really nice. With DMR radios, you have to download the contact list, and your radio has to have the memory to support the hundreds of thousands of contacts out there. Looks like so far, it basically, I just put in, I think, my call sign, and it maybe just uses that from my radio here. And then it has all the other radios call sign as well. One difficulty I am having with it is if someone's transmitting, I can't actually put it might just be the firmware of my radio I need to upgrade, but when someone's transmitting, I'm not actually able to go into the WIRES-X settings and push it to a different group, I think, or put it back to ours. So maybe it's just a firmware issue on mine. Again, I'm working on some cabling that I need to get here still, but I know that people have brought up Yaesu System Fusion, C4FM, WIRES-X in the past. I've not really messed around with it myself, but if anybody's interested out there, it's one of our probably underutilized repeaters. You can see the number of people that are connected to it, and our room has had one person connected to it, and that was me. And that was my testing yesterday. So we might interlink this with other modes as well, though. So anyone else? I know I talked about that quite long enough here. Anyone else? Comments, questions, anything else? Please call now. Hey, good evening, Mike 7 Fox Hotel. Good evening. This is K1 DBC Net Control. I had to check in online there. Definitely out of country here. I think it's an English call sign here. Mike 7 Fox Hotel checking in online. Really do appreciate that. I think that is Stu. Thanks for checking in over our YouTube page. All right. Any other check-ins, comments, questions? Another few minutes here left for the net. It's been pretty quiet, but we had a lot of good stuff there. Really appreciate Kenny bringing up all of his information about his repeater updates. Again, over on our groups.io page, groups.io/G/W0TX, you can see a post up on there that we put up earlier in the evening with a link to OneDrive with a bunch of photos in it. So if you're interested in what that process looks like, go ahead and check that out yourself. They may look blurry via the live view, but if you download them, it will look a whole lot better. Or just give it a minute, I guess. It looks like it cleared up for me. It may just take a second. These are probably high-quality photos. So, yeah, looks just fine for me now. This is K1 DBC Net Control. Repeater tower climbing and support for his... I think father-in-law, maybe. I apologize. KKU's relation there to Kenny, KD0CGF, but they were doing some tower climbing, so you can go ahead and check that out. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins, go right ahead.
Zero Golf Papa Alpha late check-in. I've been listening on the scanner.
All right, Bob got you checked in there. K0GPA. Thank you so much for checking in here. Anyone else? We have another few minutes here left of the net. As I started the net, playing a video from SpaceX Starship, Test Like You Fly. Quick description of that video. 3 years since the first flight of Starship, the next generation is here. The new ship, new booster, new engines, new pad, and new test site. SpaceX engineers are working to solve one of the most difficult engineering challenges in history: developing a fully, rapidly reusable rocket. Test Like You Fly launches a series that takes you inside the factories and onto the launch pads where humanity's future in space is unfolding. So I'll play a few more minutes of that after the net, but it's about 30 minutes in length. I'll only play a few minutes, so you can check that out in your time. But yeah, anyone else? Again, signal link, packet work. I'll have to dig back through my archives because it didn't seem like it should be all that difficult to go back between HF and FM digital modes, FT8, for example, and packet on FM. So if anybody's interested, again, w0tx.org/repeaters. We have a repeater that is packet enabled. Two-meter repeater, 145.050. You just connect into that. I remember it just being dead simple, and I can't remember for the life of me how I got it to work. I was using an FT857D, which no longer works, and a signal link, so not too different from what Kenny's trying to do there. And then using a couple of different programs, software modem and a terminal program, was able to dial in while connected to that 145.050, was able to connect into the W0TX-7 packet repeater. So it is a BBS chat email, essentially. So if anybody's interested in that, check that out. All right. Any other check-ins, comments, questions? We'll probably start to wrap the net up here in a little bit. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins, please call now. All right. Maybe I was using cat control. I can't remember. I'll have to go back and look. Anyone else? Comments, questions, seconds, last minute for the net here. Please call now. All right, as a reminder, our repeaters are interlinked at the moment for nets only. Usually connects automatically about 10 to 15 minutes before the Sunday or Wednesday night net, and then automatically disconnects about 10 to 15 minutes after the net ends. Things seem to be going quite well, though, so we may trial a little bit more and see how that works, because the more usage that we get out of our repeaters is better. I hate to see them stagnant there. So, again, a bunch of interlink connections there. You can always download apps if you want. There are Android and iPhone apps to connect to All-Star-Link, Echo-Link, or DMR. You can actually do those all through a smartphone. Most of those, some of those also have PC, Windows apps as well. Anyone else? Last minute comments, questions, check-ins? Go right ahead. Let's see. If you hadn't visited our website recently, we recently put a calendar up on the top page there, which I think originates from groups.io. Our groups.io page is the same calendar there, which you can also subscribe to. Let's see. Again, LearningNet, as expected, is showing this evening. And then this Saturday, DRC Saturday event, Rocky Flats National Wildlife Refuge. Check out more right on the top portion of our page there. We'll be setting up to activate the park as W0TX. We'll set up early and try to be ready by 9 a.m. It'll be at the north entrance, and a Google Maps link is provided. And our roundtable, our monthly group newsletter came out a couple of days ago. Can't thank enough, again, Brennan Pate and all the contributors and editors to that. So check that out, again, at the top of our page. It was emailed out to members yesterday, I believe, midday. So it goes into our president's message. It goes. We're now including our DRC board meeting minutes. So if you're ever interested in the inner workings of our board meetings, that's an opportunity to check that out. Some photos, always great to see. Don't shut them out enough. This is provided, I think, by Woody Linwood, W0UI. Looking at a member of our club, Dave WG0N, from the fall of 1983, testing our Motorola MoteTrack 147.33 repeater. So you can see a young Dave there from the fall of 1983. So it's always great to see some photos there. Again, upcoming field day, June 27th to 28th. A lot more information will be coming out on that. Questions of the months. DRC Saturdays, as mentioned. Lunch reminders. We meet each month 11:30 a.m. on the third Wednesday of the month at the Sunset Sunrise in Lakewood restaurant. And just some more information there. All right. Let me see. I thought I heard something coming in over the maybe the DMR side of things there. But looking back at the logs, I do not see anybody else recently keyed up besides myself via DMR. So just an audio glitch there. We'll wrap the net up. Any other last minute comments, questions, check-ins? Please call there. All right, this is Kilo 1 Delta Bravo Charlie. You can view past nets and meetings on youtube.com/Denver Radio Club. You can visit us on Facebook and Twitter, Denver Radio Club, groups.io/G/W0TX. I need to update the link that I have in the script here. We do have an official groups, a Ham Learning Net one, but I think we're going to migrate that over to our official one here. Let me see here. Let's see, we had a total of 9 check-ins here this evening. Really do appreciate that. Net control operations. We are looking for more net control operators. Sunday night nets, Wednesday night nets. If you're ever interested, more people to share the load would always be helpful. Kenny has graciously volunteered to take the 4th Wednesday of the month when the board meeting occurs. Jim N0TRP was taking those in the past, but unfortunately hasn't been able to do that here recently. But we can't thank him enough for all the support in the past. And Kenny, quite regular here. So look forward to hearing Kenny running the net as long as no issues come up. The 4th Wednesday this month, the 20th. The 27th. 27th will be the 4th Wednesday this month. Last minute opportunities for any last minute comments, questions, check-ins. Please call now. Okay, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Again, total of 9 check-ins here this evening. Thank to everyone who participated. We especially appreciate and thank our Elmers. Thanks to the Denver Radio Club for allowing us to use their repeaters for this net. Join us on the 3rd Wednesday of the month, 6 p.m. for an Elmer session prior to the regularly scheduled Denver Radio Club meeting at 7 p.m. These take place online, w0tx.org for more information. Licensed or not, member or not, everyone is welcome. With that, everyone, have a great week. Please join us next week, 1930 hours Mountain Time, for the next Learning Net. This is K1 DBC 73, and I will be clear.
We are today working on Starship. Version 3 is what I like to call the foundational design of Starship booster in the pad. That's going to give us the new capabilities we need to do the missions in front of us. It'll be the one that puts humans back on the moon. It'll be the ones that put the first blueprints and then city on Mars. Starship is giant, and that scale is not an accident. It's not to win some Guinness World Record prize, which we did for both the ship and the tower. It's because we need that size to do the things we dream of doing with it.
Ship 39 is the first V3 rocket. This rocket is unlike anything anybody's ever done before. Version 3 is basically a clean sheet design of the ship. We essentially took a bunch of lessons from version 1 and version 2, and we took a step back and said, what were the things that were really problematic, either from a performance perspective or from a reliability perspective on the previous rockets? And then we directly addressed those with a variety of new designs. It can go up to orbit, it can stay on orbit for 48 hours, it can meet up with other ships, and it can do propellant transfers, which is really the core technology that you need to unlock Starship. Once you unlock that capability, the whole solar system is on your doorstep. And right now what we're doing is we're actually going through checkouts, so we're actually kind of bringing the rocket to life.
We've never built a ship V3 before and gotten it to this state of production. So we are going to have special things to this specific vehicle that are going to be odd, but there's also things about the architecture as a whole that we don't really know how to deal with, because
it proved that we could get this full system together, and we learned a lot from the eventual failure of the vehicle in that flight. We were able to put together a lot of improvements on the launch pad and on the vehicle hardware design that led to much better success in Flight 2. We were able to make it with the booster to MECO. We were able to separate the ship, and we were able to begin boosting back towards the launch site. So we hit the next big milestone in the flight test campaign. On Flight 3, we were able to get all the way through our boost back burn, On Flight 4, we were able to do a successful water landing demonstration.
All right, if anyone wants to finish watching that, that is Starship Test Like You Fly on the official SpaceX YouTube channel. So with that, everyone have a good evening, and we'll talk next week.